In the dim glow of a futuristic corridor, where the hum of alien machinery echoed like a distant heartbeat, a battle-hardened U.S. soldier stood face to face with a ethereal princess from another world. Her silver armor gleamed under the sterile lights, her pointed ears and pale, almost luminescent skin marking her as something out of legend. She held a crumpled report in her delicate hands, her piercing blue eyes locked on him with an intensity that could shatter steel. "I will marry this man," she declared, her voice echoing through the hall, stunning the armored guards behind her into silence. Everyone was shocked, including him. But how did a simple soldier from Earth end up in this impossible moment? Stick around, because this story of courage, love, and defying the odds will pull at your heartstrings and leave you inspired. If you're hooked already, hit that like button and subscribe for more epic tales that blend fantasy and reality. You won't want to miss what's next. Our story begins on Earth, in the year 2025 with Sergeant Alex Harlan, a 28-year-old infantryman from a small town in Texas. Alex wasn't born into heroism, he was forged by it, growing up in a broken home, with a father who left when he was 5 and a mother who worked 2 jobs to keep the lights on. Alex learned early that life was a battlefield. He joined the army right out of high school, not for glory, but for stability, a paycheck, a purpose. His deployments to conflict zones had hardened him the dust of Afghanistan, the jungles of South America, where he'd lost friends to ambushes and IEDs. Alex was the guy who always put his squad first, the one who carried the wounded on his back through hellfire. But deep down, he carried scars, emotional ones, nightmares of fallen comrades, a failed engagement back home to a woman who couldn't handle the distance. He was relatable, you see, not a superhero, just a man trying to make sense of a chaotic world. One fateful night during a routine training exercise in the Nevada desert, everything changed. Alex's unit was testing experimental tech, some classified portal device meant for rapid troop deployment. But something went wrong. A storm rolled in, lightning cracked the sky and the device malfunctioned. In a flash of blinding light, Alex was ripped from Earth and hurled into a parallel realm, Eldoria, a world of magic, ancient kingdoms and warring factions. He awoke in a lush forest, his M4 rifle still slung over his shoulder, camo uniform torn, surrounded by towering trees that whispered secrets in the wind. Disoriented, he checked his gear, ammo, radio dead, and a survival kit. What the hell just happened? He muttered, his Texas drawl cutting through the alien silence. Eldoria was no fairy tale. It was a land torn by conflict. The human kingdoms clashed with elven empires, dwarven clans mined forbidden depths, and dark sorcery threatened to engulf it all. Alex stumbled upon a village under attack by shadowy creatures, twisted beasts summoned by a rogue warlord named Vortigern, who sought to conquer the realms with forbidden magic. Drawing on his training, Alex intervened. His rifle barked, bullets tearing through the monsters where swords faltered. The villagers, wide-eyed, hailed him as a star-fallen warrior. Word spread quickly soon. He was recruited by the Alliance of Realms, a coalition fighting Vortigern's forces. Alex adapted fast, learning basic magic from elven mages, forging alliances with skeptical dwarves. But challenges mounted. He faced prejudice. What is this outlander with his thunder sticks? Sneered the elven generals. Homesickness gnawed at him, nights alone, staring at alien stars, wondering if he'd ever see Earth again. Enter Princess Lirael of the Silver Spires, heir to the elven throne. Lirael was no damsel, she was a warrior scholar, trained in arcane arts and diplomacy. At 25's in human years, though elves aged slower, she had seen her share of loss. Her mother died in a siege when she was young, leaving her father, King Elander, to raise her amid court intrigues. Lirael was relatable too, burdened by duty, yearning for genuine connection in a world of arranged marriages and political games. She commanded respect, her white braided hair and jeweled crown symbols of her lineage, but inside she felt isolated. I fight for my people, she'd confide to her aides, but who fights for my heart? As the war escalated, Alex proved his worth in skirmish after skirmish. He taught the Alliance modern tactics, guerrilla warfare, coordinated strikes. In one pivotal battle at the Whispering Canyons, Vortigern's army ambushed them. Magic shields clashed with gunfire, elves fell, dwarves roared. Alex, low on ammo, improvised, using grenades to collapse a canyon wall, burying hundreds of enemies. His squad, now a mix of humans, elves, and him, held the line. But victory came at a cost. Alex was wounded, a cursed arrow grazing his side, poisoning his blood. in the med tent. As healers chanted spells, he hallucinated home, his mother's face, his ex's letters. "I can't die here," he growled, pushing through the pain. The battle report reached the royal court. Compiled by scribes, it detailed Alex's heroism. The outlander Harlan led the charge, his weapons of fire turning the tide. He saved 30 lives, including Lord Taller's. Princess Lirael, reviewing reports in the Grand Hall, paused at his name. She'd heard whispers of this Earth warrior, but reading the details stirred something deep. His selflessness, his ingenuity, it reminded her of the stories her mother told of true heroes, not born of nobility, but of heart. In a moment of raw emotion, before the assembled council, she stood. "I have seen many suitors, many warriors," she said, her voice steady but eyes glistening. "But this man, his deeds speak of a soul unyielding. I will marry this man." Gasp echoed. King Elander froze. The elves whispered of scandal, an outlander, a human from beyond the veil. Everyone was shocked. News spread like wildfire. Alex, recovering in a frontier outpost, was summoned to the Silver Spires, escorted by black armored guards, elite shadow knights. He entered the gleaming palace, a fusion of crystal spires and ancient runes. The hallway, tubular and lit by floating orbs, felt like a sci-fi dream. Facing Lirael, paper in hand, his battle report, Alex stammered, "Your Highness." "Mary, I'm just a soldier." Her guards eyed him warily, hands on hilts. But Lirael smiled, a rare warmth breaking her regal facade. "In my world, marriages are alliances, but I see more in you. A partner, not a pawn." Challenges arose immediately. The court opposed it. "He's not of our blood," cried advisors. Vortigern exploited the division, launching propaganda spells to sow doubt. Alex faced trials to prove worthiness, duels with elven champions, quests to retrieve lost artifacts. In one, he ventured into the forbidden depths, battling underground horrors with a blend of gun and borrowed magic sword. Emotional depth deepened. Alex confided in Lirael about his past losses, his fear of attachment. "I've lost too much," he admitted under starlit skies. She shared her own. "Duty has caged me. With you, I feel free." Their bond grew through stolen moments, training together, sharing stories of their worlds. Relatable struggles, cultural clashes like Alex's confusion over elven customs, or Lirael's awe at his primitive tech. A major conflict peaked at the Battle of the Veil, where Vortigern opened a rift to summon more beasts. Alex and Lirael fought side by side. He covered her with suppressing fire. She shielded him with magic barriers. But Vortigern targeted Lirael, cursing her with a draining spell. Alex, seeing her falter, charged in rage, emptying his last magazine, then fighting hand to hand. "Not her," he roared, relatable fury of a man protecting what he loved. They won, sealing the rift, but Lirael collapsed. In the aftermath, Alex stayed by her bedside, holding her hand. "I didn't plan this," he whispered, tears falling. "But I love you." She awoke, weak but smiling. "And I you." From that report to now, fate. Resolution came at the royal wedding, defying odds. King Elander, moved by their bond, blessed it. The ceremony blended worlds, elven vows under crystal arches, with Alex in dress uniform. Challenges resolved. Prejudice faded as Alex's deeds united realms. Vortigern was captured, his magic broken. Alex found a way home, but chose to stay, bridging worlds. In the end, their story inspires love, transcends worlds. Courage isn't in blood but actions, and defying shock leads to greatness. If this tale moved you, like, subscribe, and share. Let's build a community of dreamers. Until next time, remember, your battle report might just change everything. Summary: Alex Harlan's journey started long before that fateful portal mishap. Back in Texas, as a kid, he'd spend summers on his grandfather's ranch, learning to shoot cans off fences with a .22 rifle. Grandpa, a Vietnam vet, told stories of camaraderie and sacrifice that planted the seeds of duty in Alex's heart. "Boy, life's about who you stand with when the bullets fly," he'd say, puffing on a pipe. Those words stuck when Alex enlisted. Basic training was grueling, push-ups in the mud, nights without sleep. But he excelled, his relatable grit shining through. His first deployment to Afghanistan was eye-opening: the heat, the dust, the constant vigilance. He bonded with his squad: Ramirez, the jokester from L.A., Jenkins, the quiet giant of they shared MREs and dreams of home. But war took its toll. In an ambush near Kandahar, Jenkins was hit. Alex dragged him to cover, applying a tourniquet under fire. "Hang on, big guy," he urged, voice cracking. Jenkins didn't make it. That night, Alex wrote home, hiding his pain behind "I'm fine" letters. Back stateside, Alex tried normalcy. He met Sarah at a bar. She was a teacher, kind-eyed and patient. They dated, got engaged, but Blitz strained them. "I can't keep waiting, Alex," she said in a tearful call. The ring came back in the mail. Heartbroken, he threw himself into work, volunteering for experimental units. That's how he ended up in Nevada, testing the Quantum Gate, a device to revolutionize logistics. The night of the accident, thunder rumbled. The gate activated a swirling vortex of energy. Then, overload. Alex felt pulled apart, atoms screaming. Blackout. Waking in Eldoria, confusion hit hard. Birds with iridescent feathers chirped oddly. He hiked, finding a road, then the village. Smoke rose, screams pierced the air. The beasts, like wolves twisted by shadow, eyes glowing red, tore into huts. Villagers fought with pitchforks. Alex didn't hesitate. He took position behind a cart. Sighted beast down. Crack! Another. The villagers stared as he reloaded. "Who are you?" asked a elder post-battle. "Sergeant Harlan, U.S. Army," he replied, helping bandage wounds. They called him Thunderbringer. Grateful, they guided him to the Alliance camp. The Alliance was a ragtag force, burly dwarves with axes, lithy elves with bows, humans with swords. General Thorn, a grizzled human, eyed Alex suspiciously. "Your weapons." They spit death without magic. Alex demonstrated, shooting a target. Impressed, Thorn enlisted him. Training was mutual. Alex learned swordplay, basic runes for protection. Elves taught him herbal remedies, he showed them formations. But loneliness crept in. Nights by campfires, he'd stare at his dog tags. Missing Tex-Mex football Sundays. "Am I stuck here forever?" he'd wonder. Princess Lirael, meanwhile, navigated court life. The Silver Spires was a marvel. Towers of living crystal, gardens with glowing flowers. But politics poisoned it. Suitors vied for her hand. Prince Galad from a rival elven house, arrogant and scheming. "Marry me and our kingdoms unite," he'd press. Lirael rebuffed, seeking authenticity. Her days, studying ancient tomes, practicing spells that wove light into shields. Her confidante Elora, a handmaiden, listened to her vents. "I want a love like the legends, fierce, true." Lirael sighed. Little did she know it was coming. Alex's first major engagement was the Siege of Ironhold. Dwarves defended their forge city from Vortigern's orcs. Alex suggested mines, using gunpowder from his kit. They set traps, repelling waves. But an orc shaman cursed him, visions of death haunting his sleep. He pushed through, relatable resilience. Post-victory, he saved a dwarf child from rubble. Reports praised him. Harlan's ingenuity saved the day. Lirael heard rumors. Intrigued, she requested details. As war intensified, she joined frontline councils. Their first meeting at a strategy tent. Alex muddied, explained flanking maneuvers. Lirael in armor nodded. "Your world sounds mechanical," she said. "Ours is alive with magic." Sparks flew, not romance yet, but mutual curiosity. The Whispering Canyons battle was turning point. Ambushed. Chaos ensued.
"Alex, coordinate left, suppress right."
His bullets pierced magical armor. When Lirael arrived with reinforcements, she saw him fight. Precise, selfless, he took the arrow for a comrade collapsing. Healers rushed. In delirium, he murmured Sarah's name, then his mother's. Lirael oversaw his care, touched by his vulnerability. The report detailed his actions, lives saved. In court, Lirael read aloud. Emotion welled. This man embodied what she sought. King Elandor, daughter, think. Advisors, scandal. But Lirael stood firm. Deeds over blood. Alex's summons. Nervous ride to the palace. Guards intimidated, but Lirael greeted warmly. "Why me?" he asked. "Because you fight not for glory, but for others, like I wish to." Their talks deepened, walks in gardens, sharing pasts. Alex on earth wars, Lirael on elven losses. Challenges Galad plotted, spreading lies. A duel, Alex vs elven champion. He won with wit, disarming with a feint, then mercy. Quests tested them. Retrieving the crystal of unity from dragon lairs. Together, they faced flames, puzzles. Alex's logic complemented her magic. Emotional peak, trapped in a cave, confessions. "I was afraid to love again," Alex said. Lirael replied. Kiss under glowing crystals. Vortigern's assault massive. Rifts opened, beasts poured. Lirael cursed, draining Alex's rage. He fought to her, breaking the curse with a relic. Victory sealed alliance. Wedding grand unifying. Alex stayed, opening trade portals. Message: love conquers divides, be brave in heart.